again to defend their throne. All these are amazing storylines that can be said and told in this ban and pick of this Game 1.
BLACKLIST International is going to be taking the blue side, and Nova Esports is going to be taking the red. The first round of bans are going to come in. BLACKLIST International is going to have the priority over what they can play on. The meta is in their hands. Nova Esports is going to have to respond.
Yeah, and so far in the blue side, there's a lot of evolving strategies. Starting off the tournament, we've seen more Arlie Maestro Nuis from the 2025 patch, and coming into the playoffs, more of these roamers, more of these flex picks like Chicha has starting to arise in the blue side. For blue side is really Dolia, Zhangfei as your primary 2, or you look into something more specific for a composition, something like a Chicha that has been banned by Nova.
Looking at all of these days of this whole week of amazing performances, man, I do believe that the roamers have taken a very big spotlight in terms of the BP, because having a good roamer and those interesting picks, the Tramface, the Lapu Lapus in there, the Dolias in there, have actually had such a high win rate that might be the first options that we need to prioritize.
And talking of priority, right, that's a lot of bans being funneled over to the side of Nova Esports against Chammy1 in that Clash lane. Chicha has been a flex pick so far between Clash jungle and farm lane, but checking out the side of BLACKLIST International, I'm not sure whether they have actually selected Chicha at all in this entire tournament. But on the first pick, it does come to a question that, do they take the Long? Do they take the Zhangfei? What's their first pick priority coming in for the side of BLACKLIST?
On your comment on the Chicha, man, it's just very interesting just to see how Nova Esports respects a lot Chammy1, and they do not want to allow the Chicha. BLACKLIST might not have played it, but for sure they have it over there ready to go. So if they have it ready to go, Nova Esports don't want to even allow the opportunity for that.
I do agree as well here. So removing Chicha is a very smart choice, and BLACKLIST International locking in that Parasola Arlie as their first pick. But in this specific meta as well, Arlie is a very high risk, high reward sort of pick. You need to funnel a lot of resources in towards our pockets, and there is a lot of counters available in this meta. Like, for example, what Nova is selected, the Chano, and later on, will we see BLACKLIST take away the Xiao Qiao to remove the counter in the mid lane coming in from Nova?
You know what the issue is in here? That picking the Arlie is actually such an interesting first pick. Like, so many other options for you to be able to counter the Arlie. So showing your hand that early on a hero that you actually need them to perform. You need Golden Kai to be able to perform on that Arlie. Picking it first, that's gotta be something that BLACKLIST International and the coaches have actually predicted was gonna happen.
And it's a very expensive draft as well, right? We're looking at Arlie, we're looking at Tiger's Pay, and to add on towards that, Lapu Lapu. So for BLACKLIST International, they are starting off really strong in the first 3 picks with their comfort ones here. So it comes back to Nova here. Do you take the Ukyo for the jungle matchup, or do you take the Xiao Qiao for the Arlie and mid matchup here? Seems to me that Nova is putting more resources into that 1v1 jungle to make sure that Kong Ling gets that equalizer against Just G, at the very least in the jungle department.
Kong Lin is gonna have to demonstrate today, because in front of him, Joshi has had an amazing tournament. Joshi performing really well. Kong Lin, on the other hand, has had his ups and downs, and very new to Nova Esports. So for Kong Lin today, is gonna be do or die. In this matchup in game 1, when it's gonna be Joshi on his pay, he's gonna have a very big responsibility on Yukio Tachibana.
It's gonna be either a confidence breaker or a confidence builder, right? Because out of the Nova Esports lineup, 4 out of the original 5 in KIS3 is still present in Nova, and Kong Ling being the new addition to the roster, he needs to be able to fill CY's shoes that he has left to make sure that, hey guys, I am the replacement that Nova is looking for to conquer the 2026 year. So that comes to the question, can Kong Ling do it? And can Kong Ling do it in the series?
Xiao Qiao being taken away, as we had already mentioned, that it needed to be one of those clear bans from BLACKLIST International, right? Like, so Xiao Qiao is going to be taken away, the Maeshiro Nui as well, narrowing down to very few options over there in the mid lane.
I like it. I like it. The fact that they are removing so many of these early counters in towards the mid lane is completely an improvement for the side of BLACKLIST International's draft coming in from the group stage. The trial and error has allowed them more of these opportunities in the pick and bans right now. And Nova Esports drafting the white anchor, Ata, in towards the clash lane for the Hands of Strength. An interesting one. They love this a lot.
Oh, I love to see the Ata. Ata is one of those heroes that are so OG. I like it a lot. Can bounce around. It can still just recover. Has a lot of sustain. It does have initiation, and with his ultimate, it's able just to narrow down the area of the battle. So that's going to be a very interesting pick for Xuan, who's going to have to really take control of the moments of the game.
And talking about interesting, right? What's Nova's last pick gonna be? Is it gonna be a carry mid? Is it gonna be a utility mid? And to answer our questions, they're hovering towards the Silk Reaver Sure for the Hands of Wendy here, so that mid lane 3v3 is gonna be extra difficult for both teams. Whoever wins it will allow more opportunities to their side laners here. For BLACKLIST, it's going to be Golden Kite and Chammy1 on the Rose Fencer, on the Parasola. If they can get the mid prior, these two strong side lane monsters can start to put pressure against their enemy. For Nova Esports, it's about winning that 3v3 mid. Forbidding the fact that, okay, you guys want to push out mid, help your side lane, we won't allow that. We will use the Shi and strike a deadly blow on towards you.
A lot more initiation coming in from Nova Esports, right?
Agreed.
And at the same time, that Shi just does not need any gold. It's one of those heroes that I really like because it can just funnel all the gold towards all of the other players. That's going to put Mutsu and Konling on the spotlight very early. Now, Wendy and that Shi, is it gonna be more of like a cleaning and then just trying to make the moves in the mid lane? Or is it gonna be just trying to move into the brush and trying to initiate things on the sidelines? What do you think?
I think it's a bit of both, right, Isaac? It depends on the situation. You gotta be flexible. In this case, I think early game is much more on towards the side lane, getting those catches, pushing the advantage for Muji as the channel, and in towards the mid game, it's about getting those bush visions, getting those mid control, forcing the fact that, okay, BLACKLIST, you want mid control, you gotta fight for it here. And to your point, there is a very interesting one. Channel versus Arlie matchup here. Does BLACKLIST International move the Arlie away to a cross lane or towards the mid lane that we always see in the pro matches?
You might want to just get that Arlie out of there, right? Like if you know that you're not winning in there, why don't you just go for the swap? Just do the swap. You know the Golden Kite is gonna have to really carry on the team in terms of damage, so you want to put him in a more satisfying position. On the other side, Joshi against Konling, in the first 2 minutes, you're just gonna see them running around and collecting items, collecting gold, trying to just bring a little bit of a gap. Will we be able to see some little scraps in the first 2 minutes? Can we see them just trying to find a little bit of hands?
At the very least, from your comment, Isaac, we do see a very aggressive approach coming in for the side of BLACKLIST International, sending Golden Kite to that mid lane to at the very least get that early game farm going. Like clear that mid lane, try to move faster towards the side lane. I think that's the plan coming in for BLACKLIST Marksman.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's just start with the game. BLACKLIST International is going to be taking the blue side. Nova Esports is going to take the red. This is going to be our first semi-final of the KIS4. Ladies and gentlemen, Jakarta, assemble.
Assemble, get that Evoin points in, and support your favorite team in this KIS4 run here. And so far, in towards the early game, is looking pretty damn consistent for BLACKLIST International, clearing up that mid and immediately getting that fire big towards that bottom lane here. This is what you need as an early. More farm, more time away from the channel, so you can be that mid-game monster here. We always say that, okay, channel is a very good matchup in towards the Arlie. In lane, that's if it's a 1v1. If the Arlie has 3 items versus the channel 3 items, Arlie is way much more stronger in the mid game here. So Golden Kite, he's definitely the focus here as we see Just G coming in towards the top side here, wanting to jump on towards Strand, but a nice silky imprint coming from Wendy to disengage away Nova to safety.
Wendy very smart, he does that, but look at that Strand!
Pulls in 2, coming in for the side of BLACKLIST International here, but Strand overestimating his abilities here. But Konling trying to find for a return kill here, unable to get it, but Strand getting punished for being overly aggressive.
too confident, and right over there, he goes in with the flash, he comes and initiates onto 3, bounces in there, but there's no follow-up damage. Joshi, Dragon, Golden Kite, they were all on their way, and it was a bait, and they allowed over there Nova Esports to fall and Blacklist to take the first blood.
Very beautiful stuff thus far coming in for the side of BLACKLIST International. Not fearing the sudden engage coming in from Shren here. So in this early game, it's looking pretty good so far for the side of BLACKLIST here. However, take a look towards that bottom lane here. A lot of the pressure has been put on towards Golden Kite.
A lot of pressure coming in for Golden Kite, right? But one of the things that I want to spotlight right now has been in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Wendy just making the movements, comes in, cleans the wave so quickly, and immediately makes the rotations. And look at how Dragon just read that. Dragon just decided to let that wave go and come in and just make the support onto the top lane first.
Yeah, that's not something that my solo rank teammates will actually do here. So props to Dragon for actually being able to do this sort of rotation. Farm is inside, but it's like, hey guys, my team is much more important. Hence, we see a almost 800 goalie in the favor of Nova here. Wendy looking for a potential play on towards Chammy, but Chammy smells it and backs away to safety.
Look at that. We can see everyone in from BLACKLIST International making their way over here to the clash lane. And I can smell that hands are going to start being thrown in here.
And Waypit here, just taking a walk with the side of Chaz here, just trading positions here, coming in with the stun, with the swift strike. Just a bit of a small poke here, getting that top lane control. So whoever gets that top lane control gets the teleportation here. Nice pull on towards Chammy1. Chammy1 gets CC down. Have to append the flash to escape towards safety here. But look at Dragon here. Beautiful destructive deluge. 3-man knocked on towards the members of Nova here, but no one is in danger here. In terms of common spells, Nova has won the trade against BLACKLIST International.
The comes in from BLACKLIST International actually on top level. Dragon was all the way back to his mid lane, but they just call him back. Comes in from the flank, and then with that ulti, he just needed a little bit more damage, and it would have been an amazing trade.
I think it's really back and forth between two teams, right? Dragon finding a beautiful one, but knowing for the fact that Waypit still has the Unbridled Outburst, they really play it to a good perfection here. And look at Chaz here, getting pulled, getting CC, chunked away from this objective here. With that health bar, this is an easy tyrant going into the pockets of Nova.
Easy tyrant, and then it's going to be BLACKLIST that they're going to try to reply back by taking that turret, right? If I cannot fight in for the objectives, at least I'm going to fight in from the turret. Give me a little bit more minion waves, please.
But good news coming in for the side of BLACKLIST International. Check out the gold. They are 1,000 healthy due to the first early game first blood. And for the fact that Chammy1 has always been consistent in farming and getting those towers in the side lane, Chammy1 is going to be a monster on this late game Charlotte pick.
Oh, just beautiful performance in there from Chammy1. We knew that he was going to be one of the players that we would need to look at. Look at that. One more time. Chaz is going to have to flash away.
Yeah, Chaz playing really aggressive into the jungle coming in for the side of Nova here. Waypit does find an Unbridled Outburst here, but there's no real follow-up coming in from the Nova members here. So that's going to be a big cooldown being expended by both sides.
Lapu Lapu, one of the most popular picks over here in the KIS4, right? Because of the tankiness that it allows you to get vision, and it allows you to be able to sustain a lot.
Look at the damage coming in from Muchi here. One signal shot, 2 auto attacks, and Golden Kite is already half HP. Wendy here taking a very aggressive approach into the side of BLACKLIST International's jungle. Seems to me that they want to be invading this Crimson Golem that's going to be spawning in just 4 seconds.
Joshi, he understood that Wendy was waiting for him in the brush. He does not want to let that Crimson Golem go as well. Look at that. They want to fight it out, and they cannot take it. Konling is going to claim it.
Very clean map movement coming in for Nova here. It all started with a good poke on towards Golden Kite, and then they advanced to the jungle to pick up a Crimson Golem, knowing for the fact that Golden Kite wasn't there to be able to contribute to anything here. So, in terms of that small exchange, still in favor of Nova.
Yes.
But in terms of gold, look at BLACKLIST gold.
BLACKLIST right now with the advantage, right? Like it used to be 1,000 gold, a very clear 1,000. Now, right now, Nova is just narrowing it down to just like a couple hundreds. What we need to be looking at and paying attention is just the beautiful performance from Chammy1, just liberating himself out of that lane. But look at that, he's being targeted so much.
Yes, so much damage coming in from the Swift Strike Ukyo Tachibana here. That's one full combo in towards Chami's face. Has to take the Walk of Shame to regenerate back in towards the fountain here. In this mid game, more of the resources are being traded left and right in towards the side lane here. Towers are being traded, minions are being pushed in here. But BLACKLIST International, they have to back off here. If they can get this turret and back off successfully, that's going to be a big win.
That's going to be a really big win. Right now, it's going to be Wendy, the one that has eyes onto them. It's not going to be enough reach, but look at that,
Wendy.
Sagi.
Yeah, look at that. Look at the engage coming in for side of Golden Kite here, but he has zoned himself and has set himself too deep in towards enemy territory here. Chami 1 looking for the engage here. Finds the flash engage onto practically no one here. It's a 2-for-1 special in the favor for the side of Nova, taking 0 casualties.
Nova comes in, they had eyes on them, they tried to catch on Wendy. Wendy just pulled back out of the fight at the right moment, and without any abilities, Golden Kite and Chaz need to pay with their lives. Right now it's a 2-0 trade for Nova, turn things around, and now they're the ones with the gold advantage.
I think it's a bit of an overextension coming in for the side of BLACKLIST International. It's great that you can get so much damage on towards the bottom tier 2, but you were too deep in towards enemy territory, which resulted in towards these plays happening, right? JustG fortunately still gets the Azure Golem, but losing out Golden Kite, a tempo hero that needs so much farm, it's really a painful one coming in for the side of BLACKLIST.
Chami one more time, just trying to push in the lane. He's going to force Conling to go around. That turret won't be able to stand. That's going to be a tier 2 turret that's going to go for BLACKLIST International.
The last time these two teams meet, the goal was 50-50, the kills were 50-50 until the 8th minute mark. Is there going to be a difference between group stage? This is the time to find out.
All right, 8 minutes, 45 seconds. This is going to be our last Tyrant before the 10-minute mark. Josh is going to claim it and the fight starts.
Yeah, the assassination has already concluded coming in for side of Golden Kite. Getting the kill on towards Wendy, a miss of Wave Pit and also Muji here. There won't be any wave clear coming in for the side of Nova to defend this middle tower here. Wave Pit goes in, stampedes on towards the enemy here. Chaz baiting a bit against them here. Shen goes dangerously low, but they still get this tower here. Muji getting hit by those snowballs here. That's not going to be looking good for the side of Nova.
Oh, look at that. Joshi is such a menace. Xuan running away. Colin as well. They're going to have to run in for the hills. Right now, it's going to be BLACKLIST International in command of this game as they collect the tier 1 turret in the mid lane.
They're playing this with patience, I'm telling you. Mid lane winning the trade, and the 2v2 between Kongling, Xuan versus JustG and Chami won by BLACKLIST as well. Every single health bar coming in for the side of Nova Esports has been diminished and sent back towards the base. Hence mid free tower, bottom free tower, and right now, gold lead wise, we're looking at almost a 2,000 in favor for the side of Nova here. Wendy forcing the flash against Chami 1. The fight won't break apart as these teams are looking here, but Kongling gets caught by the flowing side here. Golden Kite goes in for the 1v1, gets caught by Muji. Muji gets the deciding kill on towards Golden Kite here as the fight does break apart between these two teams. Nova has the man advantage coming in towards its 10th minute.
Nova Esports right now as they erase Golden Kite 20 seconds while he's going to be over there in the fountain. It's going to give them priority over the Tyrant, over the mid lane turret, or over the Overlord. What is going to be their decision right now?
It seems to me that BLACKLIST International has no real way of actually contesting this Tyrant here. We see Chami already starting that Overlord here. I don't think they have enough time to practically do it. So as Chaz gets pulled into the arms of Nova Esports here as Kongling, he's marching, he's going, but the spike goes towards the side of JustG here. JustG limping away towards safety here, but he's in human form. He can't run. It's just another free kill. Killing spree for the side of Nova. Muji map in control for Nova for the next 30 seconds.
There is no safety for Joshi to run away. In human form, he does not have the leap that he needs in order to run away from the Nova players. Right now, BLACKLIST International, they had control of the lanes, but right now it's going to be Nova Esports, the one that are in control of the map.
It comes down to a deciding moment later on. Can Chami and Chaz get a good pickoff onto us Muji? Because Muji is the sole damage dealer, late game powerhouse coming in for the side of Nova. The moment Muji drops, the entirety of Nova is forced to back away here. So BLACKLIST, number 1, find Muji and you get yourself a potential win.
You need to take him on a 2v1, maybe a 3v1 if you want to get get him killed. A 302 Mutsi right now, 8,600 gold. It's not gonna be easy to take on a 1v1. There's nothing that Chami1 can do in a 1v1 against him right now.
Yeah, so it really relies whether Chami can actually put pressure on towards the side lane here. But talking about pressure though, Justy already being taken down by Shred and Kongling combo here, forcing a recall coming in from Kongling to attend to Chami on towards the Clash lane side. But if Blacklist can find this kill on towards Kongling, maybe they're up to something, maybe an end, but Kongling spots it. Kongling needs to back away towards Nikki. Kongling with the double flip gets himself away. If Kongling were to fall, then maybe, just maybe, that could have been the Blacklist backdoor.
Oh, but it cannot be, because right over there, Kongling just solved the problem. And right now it's going to be Mutsi, the one that's going to have priority over that tier 2 turret. It's going to be Waypit with the assist, going to force them back. They're going to take the turret, and they're going to rotate down to the farm lane.
Yeah, the game is wide open right now in the favor of the side of Nova Esports here. Trailing with a 3,000 gold deficit behind them is BLACKLIST International here. They need to find a certain footing. The only good news so far is that the high grounds are yet to fall for the side of BLACKLIST.
Oh, look at that. One more time. They're going to come in. It's going to be very difficult for Dragon to run away, but look at Chaz.
Yeah, Chaz already taken down by the damage here coming in for the side of Nova Esports here. Kongling playing really aggressively, scouting out those visions, forcing the members of BLACKLIST to back up. So right now, with that tier 3 high ground going down, Nova Esports once again win out on these small skirmish exchanges.
In the small scrimmages, Nova Esports is superior. They're able to just win those fights. Mutsi finding no real danger around him, and this is going to be difficult. BLACKLIST International understand that they're going to have to try to split push if they actually want to stay in this game.
Yeah, Ultimate already committed coming in for the side of BLACKLIST International's mid lane here. Kongling needs to take a recall to attend towards that top wave here. This gives Just G an angle to flank towards the back line here. Take a look at Just G. He's waiting. He's scouted out. Tiger Form wanting to run towards safety here. Ghost Ship coming in here, but on towards the cross here. Chami1 gets the kill on towards Wendy. That's 40 seconds during the spawn of the shadow objectives here. No unbridled outburst. No consistent crowd control coming in from Nova. This might be BLACKLIST's chance.
Look at that, Josh is just so low that he's not gonna be here to contest that Dark Tyrant. Dark Tyrant already 50% HP, 10%. It's gonna be Chami1, the one who's gonna get the kill!
And Fuji gets taken down. Next on the chopping block is Waypit. 40 seconds coming in from Waypit and Muji. This is gonna be a detrimental one for the side of Nova. Chami1, what a steal!
What a clutch moment coming in from Chami1. Josh was not there. Chami1 just took the cape and he became the superhero that BLACKLIST needed at this moment. Look at that.
The waves are coming in for the side of BLACKLIST International. This might just be their shot in ending the game. Kongling goes down. Wendy goes down.
With
with 10 seconds on the clock, BLACKLIST International will draw first blood against Nova Esports in this best of 7 series.
Nova Esports came all the way to the high ground, but BLACKLIST International won the fight, won the Tyrant, and made the whole push straight into the Crystal. BLACKLIST International take the first victory in our first semi-final.
Wow, that was an insane game coming in for both of these squads here. It was looking so favorable for the side of Nova in that 10 to 12 minute mark here, but with a flip of a switch, immediately it went in favor in that final fight because of the fact that they caught Wendy. And in the few parts, Just G wasn't there to smite the objective. It was just Chami1 and also the side of Chaz stealing away the objective under the eyes of Nova, making it an immediate comeback for BLACKLIST. What a game, man.
Sagi, if you analyze that last play, right, like they're coming back after putting and taking pressure on the high ground. As they're coming back, they have eyes on Joshi, and they say this is free eats. Let's just go 4v1 against Joshi, but he's a pay, so he can leap through the walls. He keeps leaping around. They lose Wendy, and in that moment, everything just goes bad for Nova. It was just their greed on wanting to take on to Joshi that ended up just with them fumbling the ball.
I think it's also a very good map play coming in for the side of BLACKLIST International, they realized the fact that, hey guys, for this specific moment, we can't really 5v5 against the side of Nova Esports. So Just was off on towards the side lane, pushing the side lane turrets here. So it forces one member coming in for Nova to recall, and that player was Kong Ling, the main engager coming in for the side of Nova. So when Kong Ling has to attend the wave, Just comes in with a very aggressive flank, which disrupts the entire formation. Hence, that's why Wendy was the first one to get caught. And it resulted into a 4v4 in the Tyrant pit. But that's the problem. Yeah. When you lack a form of CC, when you lack a form of formation that has already been in your mind for the past 15 minutes, Muchi gets caught out, and what we talk about, the moment Muchi falls is the downfall of Nova Esports Comp, which is what happened. Tyrant stolen away, Muchi falls, immediately GG serve to Nova Esports.
He did fall only once, and the moment that he fell, it was just the end of the game for Nova. You called it like that, Sagi. Maybe your predictions are coming back. Maybe this is just
I don't know, man. I voted for Nova in this series, so BLACKLIST International already won first game. If BLACKLIST wins, it's pretty happy for the BLACKLIST boys, but maybe I need to do a TikTok dance because of all the the predictions that actually fumbled here. So I don't know here, but this is the game one, and this is exactly what happened here. Chami won, playing a very good game alongside Golden Kite. The strong two side lanes really played to a perfection in those team fights. Although Golden did fall 2 times, he was playing really aggressively in getting those common spells from the side of Nova Esports.
When you analyze their performances, right, like one of them, Golden Kite's performance is going to be a little bit more flashier because he can take the kills, and then you always have the early that is always just, it always takes the spotlight. But if you're asking me who kept BLACKLIST International in the game, it's got to be Chami 1. Chami 1, since minute 1, he understood what his job was. His job was to go in, understand how to manage the maps, how to keep the game alive for BLACKLIST International. And he's the one that makes the big clutch and steals the Tyrant. So I do believe that my vote for this MVP needs to go for Chami 1.
It could potentially go in towards Chami or Golden Kite here, but based on what you have mentioned so far, seems like the votes will be more alluding towards Chami 1 in getting the MVP, but it is a collaborative effort coming in from BLACKLIST International. It's sustaining the map pressure that's being generated coming in for the side of Nova Esports. Very different playstyle coming in for 2 Clash lane here. For Chami, it's about side lane control into flanks coming in for the team fight. For Xuan, it's about giving away the resources to Muchi, to Kong Ling, so that these 2 players can actually flourish while Xuan becomes the frontline tank in getting vision and information for the team. Hence, you can see 82 minion last hit versus 32 between the 2 Clash lanes.
I'm telling you, Nova, I would say that their strat was actually paying off. It was a good strategy. It was a good BP. They came in, it was working at the perfection. But it was just BLACKLIST that they caught that little opening, and they were very defiant. They were determined. They were so determined in that exact moment, because it was just from the moment that they steal the dragon to the moment of the end of the game, there's what, 30, 40 seconds probably? It's just like one last push. In just in one push, they won the whole game.
That's why in these clench situations, in these clutch ones, right, especially in the semi-final setting, there's no like returning route, right? It's just like one BO7, you go finals or you go home. So for them, every single fight, if the game is still in the 40-60 or 50-50 situation, there is always a potential comeback, which this time for BLACKLIST, they really made it paid off. Losing the high ground didn't really pressure them, but they knew exactly what to do thanks to the pressure generated by both Chami and also Just in the side lane.
That is the beauty about this game, man. Like, you think that you have the W in your hand, and then after just one little mistake, then you're just looking how your crystal explodes in your face. And that is exactly why we fell in love with this game, because the uncertainty of what could happen, the ways how things just could literally just blow up on your face at any moment. So I'm really happy to see that BLACKLIST International just kept the game alive. Right now you can see the way that Golden Kite, you can see how Golden Kite and Muchi, the 2 people that had the most gold, that had the most damage, and great performances among the 10 players.
And roamers as well, super duper important in this game. I do believe that both of these roamers contributed to a lot of these beautiful engages coming in for Nova, for BLACKLIST International. But at the end of the day, Chaz's microplay at the Tyrant was what really forced Kongling to not be able to smite the Tyrant, giving the damage amp that BLACKLIST International needs to force that game-winning play. So really, down to these small moments is really what awarded BLACKLIST International this Game 1 victory. And I'm not going to say who's the MVP because these are two twins on your screen. It will be BLACKLIST International's Dragon with an insane stat. 2-0 and 4 KDA, still okay. But take a look at damage here. 134,000 damage done, only 24,000 taken.
Oh, come on, when you can just take, when you can deal 135,000 damage with only 7,600 gold, says a lot about you, right? In that Lady Channel, the Cascada, which had an amazing performance by Dragon. Very early in the game, just Dragon was making the moves. And that's exactly the reason why he's gotten the MVP. Throughout the whole game, he was never only in his mid lane, he was always making the runs to the left and to the right.
And you can see these highlights, right? It's Golden Kite going for the assassination plays, and at the 10th minute mark, things are looking way better for the side of Nova because there was never really a 5v5 in favor for the side of BLACKLIST here. And take a look at these moments here. It's just Nova pummeling the members coming in, but when the formation breaks, this is the exact moment to take a look at Chaz charging in, knocking up Muchi, CCing him 4 days. What did I tell you? Muchi goes down, no solid damage, no consistent DPS for Nova, and it's all over for the boys in purple.
Love it. The way that the PKO representatives are playing in this game shows us that this is not going to be an easy 4-0, man. For those of you who were expecting that this was going to be a 4-0 or just going to be a very one-sided game, I'm telling you, we're going to be here for hours.